Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are going to be unpacking a really fascinating snapshot in time today. We're looking at July 10th, 2026. It was just a single day, but it delivered 4 absolutely incredible milestones. And when you look at these updates all together, they act like a perfect microcosm of India's rapid multi-sector development. From the skies above down to the rural heartlands, and from some truly revolutionary medicine to foundational learning, these developments are quite literally reshaping the future. Okay, let's dive into this. To help us cleanly digest all these complex achievements, we're going to categorize today's updates into 4 foundational pillars of progress. We'll be looking at defense, technology, healthcare, and education. All right, let's kick things off with our first pillar. I want to challenge you with a quick trivia question about India's aerospace advancements. Do you happen to know which organization successfully developed the indigenous Astra Mk-1 missile? Take a quick second to lock in your guess. Well, if you guessed the DRDO, you are spot on. That's the Defense Research and Development Organization, and they are making some massive leaps in our tactical capabilities. They've developed something truly formidable here, proving without a doubt that indigenous engineering can easily compete on the global stage. The Astra M1 has an operational range of 80 to 110 kilometers, hitting targets all the way up to 20 kilometers in the sky. But the real kicker? It operates at a blistering max speed of Mach 4.5. At that speed, it is literally traveling faster than a bullet. It's powered by a single-pulse, smokeless solid fuel motor, which makes it incredibly hard to track visually. Pair that with its advanced guidance systems, including terminal active radar homing, and its seamless compatibility with both the Indian Air Force and the Indian Navy, and you've got an absolutely deeply capable weapon. Now, what's really interesting about this is its specific classification. It's a BVRAM, which stands for Beyond Visual Range Air-to-Air Missile. In military jargon, that basically means the missile can engage targets at ranges of 20 nautical miles or beyond. Tactically, this is a total game changer. It allows fighter pilots to lock on and strike enemy aircraft long before they're ever seen by the naked eye. That is a massive strategic advantage in aerial combat. And the success of this technology isn't just a domestic victory. It's actually becoming a highly sought-after export. India and Indonesia recently signed a landmark deal for the supply of these exact Astra Mk-1 missiles. This is a huge step forward in international bilateral defense cooperation. It really positions India not just as a consumer of advanced defense tech, but as a premier global supplier. Okay, that covers our skies, but what about down at the ground level? Let's smoothly transition into our second pillar with another question, this time testing your knowledge on global tech awards. Which Indian flagship initiative just took home the World Summit on the Information Society, or WSIS, prize for 2026 over in Geneva? The answer is the Samridh Gram Initiative. Spearheaded by the Department of Telecommunications, this is a huge win for rural digital transformation. And this brilliantly illustrates how the country is connecting the unconnected. Earning the WSIS prize under the Enabling Environment category is major global recognition. So what makes Samridh Gram so unique? It's their phygital model, meaning physical plus digital. It piggybacks on the incredibly robust BharatNet telecom network, but it actually operates through accessible physical hubs known as Samravi Kendras. It's a flawless example of using digital public infrastructure to bridge the technology gap for rural populations. It ensures nobody is left behind in the digital age. Let's shift gears completely now, from tech to our third pillar, focusing on human biology and healthcare. I've got a medical trivia question for you. Which country recently introduced aguigesli, the world's very first once-weekly basal insulin? If you said India, you are right on the money. Novo Nordisk chose India for this massive medical breakthrough. This launch represents a monumental shift for adults managing type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Just think about the traditional basal insulin routine, a grueling 365 injections per year. That is a heavy daily psychological and physical burden. Now contrast that with a Quigley, which requires only 52 injections per year. That's just once a week. Plus, in the Onwards 1 clinical program, it actually demonstrated better HbA1c reduction compared to the once-daily alternatives. The sheer psychological relief patients are going to experience by dropping from daily to weekly injections, honestly, it cannot be overstated. So the crucial point here is the scale. 101 million. That is the total number of people currently living with diabetes in India right now. And when you factor in another 136 million people living with pre-diabetes, Wow! You quickly realize this isn't just a marginal pharmaceutical update. This is an absolute quality of life revolution for a massive segment of the population. All right, moving to our final pillar, we are looking at the true foundation of all future progress, education. Let's see if you can identify the newest member of India's most exclusive educational club. Which state just became India's 6th fully literate state under the National Education Policy 2020?
The correct answer is Uttarakhand. It's an amazing milestone driven by the Ministry of Education's ULAS program.
By meeting some incredibly rigorous adult literacy benchmarks, Uttarakhand has officially achieved full literacy status. They join a really prestigious list, sitting right alongside Mizoram, Goa, Tripura, Himachal Pradesh, and Sikkim. They are the 6th state in this group. You know, it takes immense grassroots coordination to pull something like this off, making it a truly historic leap for the region. But here's the thing. Under the NEP 2020, basic reading and writing is really just the baseline. The broader vision is already pushing toward modern survival skills. We're looking at goals like comprehensive digital literacy, financial literacy, lifelong learning initiatives, and essential life skills. It's all about empowering citizens to not just read the modern world, but to actively participate and thrive within it. So, what does this all mean? We've covered a ton of ground today across these 4 distinct pillars of progress. I want to leave you with a provocative question to reflect on. Between the DRDO's blazing fast defense advancements, the WSIS winning rural digital infrastructure, Novo Nordisk's revolutionary weekly insulin, and Uttarakhand's incredible triumph in full literacy, which of these 4 milestones from July 10, 2026, do you believe is going to have the biggest long-term impact on the nation's future? It's a really tough choice, and each one opens up some fascinating avenues to explore further. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.